Hey everybody, welcome to KaliGirl Blog Talk. I'm Kali. Thank you for joining me. And today I'll be reviewing Real Housewives of Potomac. So let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome to KaliGirl Blog Talk. I'm Kali. Thank you for joining me. And today I'll be reviewing Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 7, Episode 11, Showtime. So we start off the episode with Karen. She's visiting Gizelle at her home. And I remember last time that they were all together at Gizelle's house, they had to be in a tent because there was still construction going on. So the house is coming together. I don't know if it's finished, but it looks like she has a couple of rooms that are themed. I guess her theme is black and white because it's black and white everywhere. I do like the situation she had going on outside in the backyard with the whole seating arrangement and everything. I don't know what you would call it, but where you'll be sitting, it's nice where she's going to have movie nights and things like that. In her confessional, the producers asked Karen, what do you really think about Gizelle's renovations? Because Karen was going on and on and on about how nice it is and how she likes it and everything. And Karen told the producers, well, I like her chandelier shade. Anyway, Karen has gifts for the twins because she missed their birthday party and she gave them some Gucci gifts. Okay, I don't know if it's bracelets, like a charm bracelet or a necklace, but she gave that to them for their birthday. They were very excited to see her. That was a nice exchange to see. So the twins go back in their room. Gizelle said, yeah, girl, she moved to the other side of the couch. And she said, yeah, we got to gossip. So Karen, you know, we had our live show this week, right? Gizelle said, but Karen, tell me about your show because I know yours is coming. Karen said, well, when I have my live show, I'm going to have dinner, entertainment, cocktails, things like that. Gizelle said, okay, so you're hosting it. Karen said, it's almost like I'm inside of Bloomingdale's. I'll be doing it inside of Bloomingdale's. Gizelle is lost just for a split second. And she said, okay, so are we selling the La Dame? Karen said, no, I'm not going to mix the brands. Okay, but I'm just going to have Q&A. And Gizelle said, oh, so your portion will be answering questions. Karen said, well, we will have a segment called Sizzle Topics. I said sizzle, not hot topics, sizzle topics. Okay. She said, followed by that, we're going to have a panel talking about love. Gizelle said, okay. Karen said, you getting that? Gizelle said, I get it. Turned right around in the confessional and said, I don't get it. I sort of didn't either. But I mean, Gizelle said, okay, well, everybody's invited. That's great. How are things with you and Mia since Miami? Karen told this big bold-faced lie and said, well, what I like about Mia is that when she's wrong, she owns it. Karen, I will say you have been the biggest flip-flopper so far yet. Everybody has pretty much stayed true, but when it comes to Mia, you flip and flop. I don't know what it is with this thing with you and Mia, but when it comes to her, you flip and flop. I don't know if it's because she showed you a nice birthday treat with those luxury cars. I don't know what it is, but the way you moving with Mia, you not looking like the Grand Dame. You're looking like the Grand Flip-Flopper. Anyway, she loves Mia and she likes Jaqueline, but she doesn't like Jaqueline finishing Mia's sentences. You know, Jaqueline has literally been Mia's spokesperson, or as Candiace called her, the representative. Karen told Gizelle, because my thing is Jaqueline, Mia is my friend, so she can talk to me. Gizelle says, so when you went to lunch with Wendy, we went to the beach and Jaqueline and Mia, they got to drinking, right? And Mia referred to something that happened back in the day when they were in the club. And Mia said, I was making a lot of money, and said about Jaqueline, yeah, if I win, you win. And they showed Mia saying, yeah, because if Jaqueline not pulling up in her Porsche when I'm winning, then I'm being a terrible friend. Gizelle said, it made it seem like Mia bought the Porsche. And Karen was like, whoa, pulling her hair in front of her face like she's trying to mask her expression. And Gizelle was like, I just want clarity. Like, Mia, are you buying the Porsche? Are you buying the car? Or did Gordon buy the car? Karen is sitting back like, whoa, wait a minute. And Gizelle said, Mia did let us know that back in the day, she allowed Jaqueline to get with one of her exes, or her boyfriend before he became her ex. And she allowed Jaqueline to do this as long as she was able to watch. Gizelle says, so my thing is, okay, so if this was happening back in the day, is this also happening currently? Karen said, ho, whoa, and started clapping her hands like a wet seal. And in her confessional, Karen said, I think Mia done opened her mouth one too many times, this being many. She said, and if this is true, then Mia needs to protect herself, honey, because Gizelle is going to tell the world, as she just did. But then Mia told on herself. Karen told Gizelle, keep filling me in, keep going, keep going. And Gizelle said, girl, they were showering in Miami talking about Mia and Jaqueline. She said, did you miss this? Karen is looking befuddled, okay? The face that she made was one of, what? Yuck. Stop lying. I know you lying. Hell no. Are you serious? OMG. Gizelle said, where were you when we were in Miami? Was you even in the same house? Karen said, I was in my room where I should have been. Referring to Mia and Jaqueline, Gizelle said, I mean, that's fine if that's what y'all want to do. She said, but we gonna ask questions. Karen said, they're in the window doing this? And Gizelle said, yes. Karen said, well, if they were in the window, then they wanted to be seen. Gizelle said, oh, you know what? I didn't think about that. Well, you think of everything, even things that didn't happen. So I don't know how you missed that, Gizelle. Karen said, girl, come on now. I wouldn't get in front of a window if I don't want to be seen. I get in front of a window because I'm hoping somebody is looking. Next, we see Wendy, and it's 5 a.m. and she is in the emergency room. Her kidney stones are doing the fool. Okay, so she's in the bed, they're giving her fluids, and she said it's like a 9-centimeter kidney stone, okay, that she's walking around with, and it cannot come out on its own. So that surgery that she was talking about, I guess it's going to have to happen now. Eddie, he said, man, you woke up this morning, you scared the shit to get out of me. He said, I'm glad we came in because at this time you just working too hard and you pushing yourself too much. And she looked like she's in pain. Next, we see Ashley. She's at home with the kids. She's doing a little vacuuming. She's holding Dylan. Next thing you know, Dean, he comes in with the nanny talking about we're home because he a grown man now talking about we're home. So Ashley tells the nanny that Michael just called her with some good news. He's helping her look for the house. And he came across a house that's in the area, has a huge yard, 5 bedrooms. She's excited to see it soon, but she says she's a little bit weary. She's a first-time home buyer, so I guess she's nervous. But as a first-time home buyer, she says she's leaving all of that to Michael because they're both very entangled financially. It's probably more so you're entangled in his finances more than you are entangled with each other. In her confessional, Ashley says something that's really stupid. She says, well, what's the protocol for all of this? I mean, does he stay at my house? Is that normal or no? Like, she's acting really ditzy. Keyword, acting. Next, we see Gizelle and Robyn, who arrived at their venue. It's 2 days before the Reasonably Shady live show. And the capacity is 400, okay, that they'll be able to have in the room. In her confessional, Gizelle said Robyn is having anxiety behind this. They're going to sell 120 VIP tickets, but she's concerned about it having empty spaces, right? She's like, how empty is it going to be? The coordinator gave her some ideas and said, you know what? You can design where people are seated so that way it looks fuller. In her confessional, Robyn said, we probably need to sell at least 89 more tickets, okay? We don't have no sponsors. It's just us putting our money into it, almost $10,000, and hoping that this will be a success. So they're going over the direction of the show, and Gizelle said, okay, so let's talk about Juan's part. Like, when we call him up, is he going to be like, I'm not coming up? What is that going to be like? Gizelle said, because yeah, he agreed. And Robyn said, yeah, but you know, he'll say he forgot he agreed. Gizelle said, okay, so done with that. About your wedding that I'm not invited to, Robyn said, no one's invited. Gizelle said, okay, I get it. I was in my feelings. I felt some type of way, but I got out of my feelings. I just want to be prepared just in case at the last minute you needed me to do something for you. She said, that being said, so I was opening up my calendar, so do you want to give me a date? In her confessional, Gizelle said, listen, I don't understand what they doing. She said, I don't know what's happening. They got engaged like 3 years ago. And then she said, okay, 4. She said, I don't know. And then the producers flashed back. It was actually 2 years ago. But probably because we've been talking about them as far as reconciling and things like that since the first season. Robyn told Gizelle, I don't have a date at this time. Okay, I got some things to iron out. And in her confessional, she said, once things are ironed out, which will hopefully be soon, we can pick a date. Juan and I, we just got to talk about this prenup, okay? That's the ironing out right there. She said the more she thinks about the prenup, the more she's scared to talk to him about it. She's not saying prenup to Gizelle, but I believe Gizelle knows what she's talking about. Next, we see Candiace. She is at her video shoot for her song Insecure, the one featuring Trina. She's on the floor doing crunches. Girl, whatever you got to do to get the nerves out. Her mom is backstage with her, and in her confessional, Candiace said, no matter what is going on with my mom, I always want her present at milestone events that happen in my life. She said, but my mom has been instructed to sit down, mind your business. That's all. Just mind your business. She's nervous. Okay, they're ready for her on set. They're carrying her out to the car, I guess, so she won't get her her shoes dirty. Anyway, they flash back to when Mia was like, yeah, I wanted to show up to a video that wasn't so low budget. So they show on the screen that the Insecure budget is $25,000. So yeah, it's a step up from, the first video that she had. But hey, you got to start somewhere. Shut your ass up, Mia. And the budget is coming out of the record label, not Candiace. Oh, but it's going to come out of Candiace's budget for sure. It's called recouping. Trina is there. They are exchanging words of encouragement, thank you, and things like that. In her confessional, Candiace said her challenge is how are people going to view her as an artist? But I think she's proving herself that she definitely has the ability. And I also seen a little piece of a film that she's in. I forgot what it's called just that quick, but she is good. Candiace, she was very natural in the scene. Gosh, I forgot what it's called. She was the wife though. Anyway, she did very well in that too. So they start rolling tape. They doing their thing. Candiace is lip singing. Trina is standing there doing Trina. And in her confessional, Candiace said, this is almost like a you made it moment. Like it don't even feel real. How exciting for her. So now we are at Robyn and Juan's, okay? And they get ready to have this talk about this prenup. They're going over each other's days, talking about how busy they are, so on and so forth. And Robyn says, that's what I was telling Gizelle. Like, it's hard to pick a date because basically everybody's grinding. And Juan said, it's really up to you, to be honest. Basically, like, I'm not the one holding it up. He said, it's about you. She said, no, it's not. He said, yes, it is. The first time we got married, you had an idea of what you wanted, what you envisioned. She said, you had an opinion. He said, no, not really. She said, well, I want this one to be memorable for us, for me, you, Corey, and Carter. Juan said, yes. Now that I do agree on. She said, well, tell me if you agree on this. What about the meeting that I had with the lawyer about the prenup? He said, She said, the question was posed, do you include an infidelity clause? Robyn said, I just feel like we both need to be okay. I guess she means okay with that clause being part of the prenup. I don't know. I'm watching as I go, so let's see. Juan was very quiet for a second, and he said, I don't think that that's going to be an issue, meaning infidelity. Robyn said, you never know. He said, you've been with me since I was how old? She said, like 16, 17. He was like, yeah. Now in my mind, I was like, where is he going with that? Because what does that have to do with anything? He said, so I'm saying that to say, because you're a big part of my life. She said, but you hear about horror stories all the time. Trying to emphasize who they are. He said, we're not those people. I think he's getting a little bit irritated, but trying not to get irritated. Anyway, he said, we're not those people. She said, you don't know that. He said, well, I hope you're not like that. She said, I'm not, and I hope you're not. He said, okay, I'm not that. He's saying, like, I'm not that guy. In her confessional, she said, when we were going through a divorce, Juan started dating someone and things got contentious at different times. She said, now we weren't fighting over money at the time because there was no money to fight over, but I can only imagine if we had money that was a part of the equation, it would have gotten really nasty. So she's trying to have this prenup to avoid a messy situation. I really don't feel no ways about it. It's not me. It's not my situation. So, do what you guys feel is best for your union. Back to the conversation, Robyn said, I'm not going to put nothing crazy in there. He said, I don't know that. He said, well, I ain't fighting over no money. So we see Wendy. She's back home. And she said within the span of 1 week, she had 2 surgeries to remove the kidney stones. The surgeries were outpatient, but the recovery, she said, is really exhausting. But her mom is there, nurturing her, loving on her, giving her kisses on her forehead, taking care of her baby. Ain't nothing like mama's love. The boys come out and grandma immediately puts them to work. Go ask your mom what she wants to drink. So they like, mama, what you want to drink? The mama is in the kitchen cooking pork chops. Wendy is like, who is eating pork chops? Who like pork chops? I guess they do, because mama is in there chefing and they do not look like they complaining. Her mama was like, you want it spicy? Wendy said, no, mama, please don't make it the Nigerian way. Please just make me some soup. Mama in the kitchen ready to throw down. Her mom brings her the soup. And mind you, she just got home from the hospital. Her mama said, what you want to drink? How about a nice glass of red wine? What? She's like, Mom, I just need water. Why are you trying to intoxicate me? She's probably on pain medication. She don't want no wine. And her daughter, Cameron, she's just growing up. She's 3 years old. She's so cute. She's trying to be there for her mama. she trying to help her mama like, I need you to get better. Wendy told Eddie, let me tell you something. When it comes to kidney stones, I didn't think anything could be bad as a pregnancy. In her confessional, Wendy said, I continued to push the kidney stone situation aside, saying, I'll do it after the next speaking engagement. Okay, I'll wait till after this semester is done. And we're all guilty of pushing things out further than we should have. But I don't know how she was able to do it being in all of that pain. I don't know how she was able to push that out. So her and her mom both agree that slowing down is best. And then her mom says, yeah, so I'm asking you for new boobs because I breastfed you and your siblings and you guys dragged my boobs through the mud. And they flash back to when they were all at dinner and the mom said, I want to have a boob job and you all are going to pay for it. And Eddie is looking like, what? They all looking like, huh? Wendy said, Mama, so much is happening in the world right now. Your breasts are at the bottom of my list. Next, we see Mia. She's at home making cookies with the kids and Karen stops by. So Mia put Gordon on daddy daycare while they go off into another room so they can have a sit down. Karen said, so Mia, how are you feeling? And Mia was like, I'm good. And Karen said, so you and G are good? Mia's like, yeah. Like, why? What's up? And I would have been the same way. Like, what kind of question? What you mean? Are we good? What's happening here? Making reference to the question of, are you and G good? Karen said, well, I just visited Gizelle. Mia said, And Mia, I told you I'd never hold anything back from you. Karen said, well, Gizelle was too happy to tell me that you and Jaqueline were showering nude together and she saw you guys upstairs. Karen said, Gizelle wanted me to know about that. Mia starts laughing. So to confirm, Karen says, so you and Jaqueline shower together in the nude? Mia said, yes, we do. Karen is hitting her with follow-up questions. Okay, so it's something that you enjoy? Well, obviously. Mia is looking bewildered by the question, like, same thing. She said, well, yes. Like, duh, obviously. Karen said, okay, I'm cool with it. Gizelle also shared with me that you allowed Jaqueline to sleep with your boyfriend and you wanted to watch. Mia said, okay, giving full transparency, Jaqueline and I have done some weird promiscuous things when we were kids. Kids? I thought you was talking about when you were grown. Has this been going? Never mind. Karen asking in an innocent tone, oh, okay, so you've been doing promiscuous things with each other? Mia said, yes. Karen said, oh, okay, so you were lovers. I said, not lovers. Mia said, no. Karen said, well, what are weird promiscuous things if you're not screwing? She said, well, did you kiss? Mia said, no. Karen said, well, what'd you do? You fondled? Mia said, a little bit, yeah. Mia said, yeah, I thought I wanted to be a gynecologist. So I was checking her cervix and stuff. Girl, you a gynecologist lie. You were checking her cervix with what instrument? If you didn't have those instruments that they have when you get in a pap smear, what was you checking her cervix with? Stop lying. I wanted to be a gynecologist. Girl. So what was your decision? You still want to be a gynecologist? Karen was like, okay, so how old were you when you played doctor? Not doctor. Mia said like 19, 20. Karen said, oh, okay, so I was also told that you and G have a rendezvous and get down with other people. And Mia said, yes. So they're down with the menage. Karen said, was it Peter? Mia said, Peter's girlfriend. Karen is going up. I knew it. I knew it was something. I was like, something is funky in this Miami table. She said, because your reaction was too personal. And in her confessional, Karen said, oh, okay, now things make sense to me. Okay. And they flash back to when Wendy said, maybe that's how you and your husband play. And that's when Mia threw the drink. You threw the drink because Wendy was telling the truth? Okay. That's why Wendy recently tweeted the words, did I lie? Karen continued in her confessional and said, I was thinking she was just trying to shut Wendy down. So Mia did all of this hoopla about she's lying on me and my husband, when in reality, she was telling the truth. Getting more tea, Karen said, so Mia, did you and Gordon share Peter's woman? And she said, well, no, she was our girl before Peter. Karen said, so girl, Peter had your leftovers? And Mia said, yes. Karen said, okay, I'm going home. Karen said, girl, to each his own, okay? Got her phone, her keys, and her shades and stood up. Time to go. I did what I came to do. I got the tea. Now let me go do my thing. So it's the night of the Reasonably Shady live show. Karen is there. People are coming through. Karen is there with Ray. She was like, look, let me take a picture right now in front of this billboard. And Ray, take a picture of me so I can post it, so I can show that I did come out here to support. Juan and the boys show up. Karen is surprised. And in her confessional, she said, I'm always surprised to see Juan show up anywhere, but I'm proud of him for being here to support Robyn. So I guess everybody is sitting where they're designed to be seated, according to what that coordinator and Robyn discussed. And Karen says, the seats are empty. And it shows that the seats are empty. I'm thinking maybe the people haven't gotten there yet. Maybe you guys are the VIP section. I don't know. Anyway, Ray said, give them a minute. Karen said, okay, picks up her phone and says they got 8 minutes to fill this joint. So she got the timer on. Okay, stopwatch is on the phone, counting down. She said Robyn documents everything, referring to Robyn recording the situation that happened between Wendy and Mia. So time has passed and the venue looks very empty. In her confessional, Karen said it was empty. Okay, and they're showing it. She said, I'm glad that people came to support them though. She said these folks spent their hard-earned money, but they had plenty of room, but they were comfortable. Everybody had 5-10 seats between them, and Karen starts laughing. Karen said, you couldn't ask for more room than that. Ashley is there, and Karen said, is Candiace coming? And Ashley said, I don't think so. You know, maybe there's some residual that Candiace is still holding on to. Why would Candiace show up? That's like dumb, Karen. I'm tired of you acting oblivious to what's going on between these women. Why would Candiace show up to support Gizelle? In her confessional, Candiace said, I'm not going because Gizelle isn't worthy of support of any kind. So Jaqueline and Mia show up as well. So it's time to start the show. And the MC starts off totally wrong, talking about, come on, y'all, put your hands together, starring Robyn Bryant. That would be Dixon. Everybody starts laughing. Karen pulls out her notes, talking about, okay, what not to do. Okay, she's taking notes for her live show. First on the list is don't hire drunk host. Getting the names right, the host, you know, he's pumping everybody up. Let's welcome Robyn Dixon and Gizelle Bryant. Everybody's clapping and Jaqueline is jumping up and down. Why are you so excited? Y'all just met. So not only did the MC get the names wrong, the mics are not working. So I guess they can hear Gizelle, but nobody can hear Robyn. Y'all didn't do a mic check before the show or backstage, at least before you walk out? Mic check 1 2 1 2. Nothing. Meanwhile, Karen keeps adding to her list. So the first thing is no drunk host. Make sure the host knows your dang name. Second on the list is make sure the mic works. So they're running the show and they're at the segment where it's time for Juan to come up. So Robyn says, so you guys know I talk about Juan and his shadiness a lot during the week. So the first question that Robyn asks Juan is, I want to know, is it reasonable or is it shady for the person who is the early riser to wake up early in the morning and get the little hand vacuum? While she's asking the question, they pan to the audience. It is pretty empty. Back to the question though, is it reasonable or shady for the person who's the early riser to wake up early in the morning and get the little hand vacuum? You know, and basically start disturbing the peace, disturbing the sleep, and start vacuuming all in the room. And he said, well, what time of the morning are we talking about though? He said, are we talking 6:30 a.m. or are we talking 11 a.m.? Everybody deems that it is not shady if it is at 11 a.m. when the vacuum is being done. They're done with that part of the show. They move on to what Gizelle said. They have a new segment and it's called Do That Dance. So they invite Dancing Ashley up to the stage along with a few other guests, and they start off doing dances such as the Cabbage Patch. And Gizelle definitely don't know what she doing because it looked like she barely doing the Bankhead Bounce. That ain't nothing nowhere near the Cabbage Patch boo. Karen is in the audience steadily taking notes. Mia is on her phone. Sharice looked like she's awake yet half asleep. And Ray looked at Karen and said, this is something else, huh? Karen said, not really. And like them, I'm a little lost too. I'm like, this is a podcast live, right? What are we doing? Everybody's on the stage just kind of dancing around. What is this? Karen told Ray, my list, it keeps growing. Third on the list is no boring dancing. Karen said, this is boring. Ray gets up. Is it time for a break? And he starts walking. I'll be back. Ray took his own intermission. Now it's the Q&A portion, and Gizelle said we really don't allow this, but tonight we're going to allow you guys to ask us questions. First question, this is about Robyn, but I want Juan to answer. When is the wedding? Robyn looks uncomfortable. She's looking at Gizelle like, I told you this was a bad idea. In her confessional, Karen said, we all want to know, okay? When? And she said, it was an excellent question. Answering the question, Robyn just said, stay tuned. I'm cracking up. In her confessional, Karen said, well, I mean, shoot, like us, they've been waiting 7 years too. Talking about us. They definitely edited the heck out of this podcast live. I hope they did, because that was one question. And then Gizelle said, okay, we got to wrap this thing out. They talking to the audience, talking about, did y'all have fun? Everybody clapping. I guess this thing is over. Now, it did look empty the entire scene, okay, for their show. However, I did see online that people did attend, and those who did attend, they were making comments, and they said that it was packed in there. It was about 300 people. They said the editing was shady. Okay, it was not empty. I don't know, I wasn't there, but that's what they saying on the Twitter, child. But if so, if they're wrapping it up and telling people thank you, why are we still seeing empty seats? I don't know. Again, let me stop. We know it's editing. All they got to do is put one clip with another, mesh it together, and make it look like it's one scene. Everybody's talking, and Karen told them, you know what? It was great. And then she turned around and said, I didn't sleep a lot. Gizelle said, well, you know, we here to entertain. And Karen said, well, I mean, the show is called Reasonably Shady, so, you know, I had to be a little shady. But you know what? I'm going to get out of here, okay? Here go Jaqueline. Gizelle, I loved it. So Mia starts walking away like everybody's, you know, departing. And Gizelle said, you know what? I want to keep Jaqueline with me for a second. Mia said, oh gosh, what's happening now? Girl, you know what's happening. It's called a scene. Charisse is right there in the middle. Gizelle said, well, you know, Charisse wasn't there, so, you know, I could tell her too. But I just want to know Jaqueline because, you know, I'm slow sometimes. She said, so when we were in Miami and, you know, everybody was drinking and stuff, Mia said, if she's winning, you're winning, right? Suspiciously, Jaqueline said, yeah. Gizelle said, so she bought you a Porsche? Reminded me of when she said to Monique, oh, you don't have a house? But that's when Monique came back and said, I have 5 homes, but this ain't that. Anyway, back to the question for Jaqueline. So she bought you a Porsche? Jaqueline said, oh no, we're going to clear that up right now, honey. I make my own coins. Gizelle said, but she did say that, right? Jaqueline said, I don't remember that, Gizelle. And I don't remember her saying that either, that I bought her a Porsche. I don't remember her saying that verbatim. Charisse was like, I remember it. I remember. But then also, Jaqueline didn't answer the question. She made a declaration. Gizelle said, so she bought you a Porsche? Jaqueline didn't say yes or no. She said, I make my own coins. Great. Did she buy you a Porsche? Jacqueline is like, I don't remember that. Can we phone a friend? Like, can we get somebody? I'm like, is production going to roll the tape? Because I really don't remember myself. Getting to the bigger part of what she really wants to know, Gizelle said, so did Gordon buy you the Porsche? Jacqueline said, what are you asking me? Like, I'm some side piece now? Oh, that's exactly what she's saying, Jacqueline. Or trying to clarify / imply. Gizelle said, well, we know that Mia likes to watch and Gordon likes other women. Jacqueline said, right. And Gizelle said, so you never said pick me, with her hand raised. Again, not answering the question, Jacqueline said, you'll have to ask Mia that. Gizelle said, girl, I'm asking you. And I'm like, yeah, aren't you the representative / spokesperson? You love speaking up. So why she got to ask Mia about this? You speak on everything else pertaining to Mia, Jaqueline. Jacqueline said, look, girl, I don't spill those type of teas. Charisse is like, Charisse always sounds like she had 8 drinks at one time. Suddenly, Ashley pops in, and then they pan over to Robyn and Mia talking, where Robyn is thanking Mia for coming. Ashley sits down with Gizelle and them, and she says, so let's catch you up a little bit. She said, so Ashley, Mia likes to watch, right? And, you know, we know that Gordon likes others, right? Ashley said, yeah, Mia likes to watch Gordon, yeah. And they flash back to when Mia said, yeah, you know, it's like going to a concert instead of watching a music video on TV. So Gizelle invites Mia into the conversation. Remember, she's on the other side talking to Robyn when Robyn really knows what's going on. Anyway, Gizelle invites Mia into the conversation and says, Mia, we have a question. Mia walks over and says, what's the question? What, you want me to sit on your lap? Gizelle is like, no, don't do that. But when we were at the beach, you said when you're up, your girls are up. So you were like, I'm driving good, and said to Jacqueline, you driving a Porsche, right? Mia said, yeah. And Gizelle said, So I'm thinking Mia done bought her a car. Mia said her car is in her name. Yes, they're doing everything except directly answering the question. It's great, Jaqueline, you make your own coins. It's great, Mia, that the car is in Jaqueline's name. Who financed the sucker? That's the question that Gizelle is asking. Robyn is making a face like, oh gosh, no. And in her confessional, she said, listen, when Juan was in the NBA, he bought plenty of cars for people and they were all in their names. Mia said to Gizelle, why, you want a Porsche too? And she starts imitating Oprah. You get a car, you get a car, you get a car. Jaqueline steps right back into representative spokesperson mode to really, put us on to how much money Mia has. And she says, but let me say one thing. Can Mia buy me a car? Probably. Gizelle said, I thought she bought it. Jaqueline said, no, but I wish she did. Mia said, why everybody think Gordon buying should get? She said, Gordon ain't got no money. Now, I think she's joking, but Gizelle looked like, oh, okay. That's another rabbit hole she might try to go down, but I think she realizes, at least I hope, she realizes that Mia is just playing, because if Mia not playing, Mia, you talk too much and talk to the wrong people about your business, trying to assimilate and fit in. Jumping to the next thing, Gizelle says, so remember you told us about the boyfriend that you allowed Jaqueline, to get busy with? Mia said, oh, you remember that? I thought you were too drunk to remember. Child, Gizelle ain't gonna never get too drunk around y'all. She always gotta be alert to collect tea, or at least make it up if it ain't none. Anyway, she said to Mia, so has Jaqueline slept with Gordon? Mia said, is that what you're asking me? Has Jaqueline slept with Gordon? Gizelle said, well, she told me to ask you. Mia said, okay, wait a minute now. What's going on? Gizelle is going on. You still new to the show, huh? You still don't know? A storyline for Gizelle about your marriage is what's going on. Mia said, Jaqueline and I, we need to compare notes on what we gonna tell y'all. And in her confessional, Mia said, Gizelle is nosy, okay? Gizelle likes to butt in everybody else's business so that we don't butt in hers. Yeah, that's right, Mia. And if you don't pay the cost this season, you will. It's coming. It's coming around. She hits up everybody. Anyway, Mia said, yeah, she don't want nobody to butt in her business because she ain't got no business. Back at the venue, Gizelle told Mia, well, when I asked Jaqueline, she said, ask Mia. Jaqueline said, because I felt like it needed to be all of us in the conversation. And I feel like if the answer was no, you would just say no. Trying to add justification to her reasoning why she didn't just answer the question directly. She said, like if somebody asked me, have I slept with Juan? Like most logical people, Cherie said, like if somebody asked me if I slept with Juan, I'd be like, hell no, I ain't slept with no damn Juan. Told you, 8 drinks. She said, I wouldn't say ask Robyn. Jaqueline said, but Mia doesn't care about that kind of stuff. But you still didn't answer the question. Asking the dumbest question. She is literally insulting your intelligence, Mia. She said, so Mia, you like to watch. So how come you didn't allow her to get with Gordon? What? Jaqueline said, because we're friends and it crosses the line with Gordon and he is not for me. Like they really didn't have no storyline to close out this episode. Charisse continues and says, but what if you were attracted to her husband? Would you then be okay with sleeping with him? They continued, would you be okay watching? Asking Mia. Overwhelmed, Mia was like, wait a minute, this is a lot of questions. Girl, how about you just say, girl, y'all tripping. I'm not fooling with this mess. Let's go. I'll talk to y'all later. But you can't say that because you're too busy trying to assimilate and be a part of, Mia. Oh, well. In her confessional, Gizelle said, it's something strange about this. I mean, none of them are answering the questions directly, except Jaqueline did say, no, that's crossing the line with Gordon. And besides, he's not for me. In other words, he's not my type. Anyway, Gizelle said, it's something different about this. There's a whole lot more to this relationship. For example, how many showers do you have to take to get a car? Back at the venue, Gizelle said, you know what? All right, you guys, I'm going to table this. Jaqueline said, you really think that there's more to it? And the episode ends. Yeah. Congratulations, Candiace, for your video shoot. And with that, thank you guys for joining me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell button, leave a comment if you so choose. And until next time, take care. Peace.